Joining us now, Kurt Bardella, NewsNation contributor and veteran political and media strategist. Good morning to you. Defiant would be, I think, an appropriate way to describe the president right now. We've got this letter and now this new interview. Does it do anything, Kurt, to quiet the calls for criticism that he should get out of the race?
Probably not yet. I still think that to those who are, I guess, suspect of President Biden's ability to successfully defend his presidency and defeat Donald Trump, they're going to need to see more. It's going to be more than just a phoner on Morning Joe, more than a pre-taped interview for 15, 20 minutes with George Stephanopoulos. They're going to need to see a consistent track record of this level of energy, this level of combativeness, this level of defiance, only eventually directed, obviously, at Donald Trump and the Republican Party. I think that it's possible. I still think that the odds are he is going to stay in the race. He is going to be the Democratic Party's nominee. He is going to run all the way through the fall. It's a very heavy lift, an extraordinary, historic lift, in fact, to get a sitting president who's already committed to run for a second term, who's already been running and has gone through primaries, to then do a complete 180 in the summer. It's probably not going to happen. That said, these next week, NATO, his public appearances, they're higher stakes. There's higher scrutiny. Democrats are very unsettled, obviously, especially in Congress, and they're watching his every move, his every word, his every answer. And so this is as high stakes as it can be for him.
Right. And can he afford another slip up, and maybe more than that, an accumulation of small slip ups? I mean, we played that moment ago when he was asked about NATO this week and gave an answer that had nothing to do with NATO and more about his presidency and his determination to stay in the race. How closely will folks be listening to answers like that and his ability to stay on topic?
Well, I think in this case, this was the president staying on his message. He chose Morning Joe for a specific reason. The audience that watches Morning Joe are a lot of the columnists and opinion makers and the Beltway elite, the media elite, who have been calling on him in various columns and places to not run again. So I think he was just staying on his specific message rather than not knowing how to answer the question that was posed for him. I think he just deliberately chose not to hammer home adamantly how strong he feels about staying in this race and sending the message to everyone in the political class that he's not going to get out.
Yeah, I think the luxury of being president is you can answer any question the way you want to, and he clearly did. I'm wondering, though, how the American public, and specifically Democrats and independents, interpret the president saying, I don't care about the party elite. So it begs the question if this is more about the person or the party come November.
Well, I mean, and that's really what this all boils down to, right? It's about whether or not you believe, if you're the president, that what you're hearing from the Beltway chatter and from the media mirrors what the American people are saying amongst themselves. We just had the 4th of July weekend, and I would wager that a lot of the conversation, if politics came up around the pool, at the barbecue, at home, was about the president's age. I've certainly experienced that directly in talking with folks well outside of the Beltway, people who have been allies of the president, who are adamantly against Donald Trump. And there is very real concern about the president's age. He's 82 years old. We have seen every president who has ever held this office, just the physical toll after just 4 years, how people age in that office. People come in with no gray hair. After 4 years, they have gray hair. So Joe Biden's 82 years old. He's been president for 4 years. He probably is an old 82. Let's just be honest about that. And I think that what would mollify a lot of the detractors right now, and why so many people are upset at this president in the White House, is they feel like their concern isn't being taken seriously, that what we see with our own eyes isn't actually being acknowledged. The president would go a lot farther in mollifying some of these detractors if he just said, you know what, I get what you're seeing. I see what you see. And you know what? I am 82. I am old. There's no denying that. But on my worst day, I'm better than Donald Trump on his best day. That's a message that would resonate more and have a little bit more candor to it.
Well, we'll see how many more opportunities the White House gives him to say that publicly. Kurt, always a pleasure. Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right.